Hello. If this is the first time you've joined us this week, welcome to the Canting Club. This week's wine is an Albarino from Spain, from Galicia, the northwestern corner of Spain, tucked in between the northern border of Portugal and the Bay of Biscay. This one is from the region called Rías, which is right on the Atlantic coast. Albarino from Rías has a reputation as Spain's best white wine. So let's see if this lives up to that billing. It's a beautiful greeny gold colour. That depth of colour is partly due to Albarino's thick skins, all the colours in the skin, but also due to skin contact, which this wine will have had after pressing and before fermentation to extract all the aroma molecules from those skins, because this is a grape famed for its fragrance. Whoa, and what a fragrance! This has a pronounced and exotic nose of elderflowers, almond paste, and even candied pineapple. It's terrific. Big flavours on the palate too. So big, in fact, that this tastes almost off dry, even though I know this is a dry wine. And that's an Albarino characteristic. This is medium bodied, maybe just a tad more, which counts as positively heavyweight for this grape. Those flavours are rich and mouth-filling, of pink grapefruit and white peach. And they lead on into a long, tingling finish. And it's there, that tingling is the acidity making itself noticed. Albarino is known for its razor-sharp acidity. This one is, if anything, not as sharp as most. Also joining it on that hint, on that finish, are hints of bitter almonds, again a characteristic of the grape, very appetising and food-friendly. This is an especially exotically ripe and full-bodied example of this grape, probably due to the warm year, 2012. Albarino is the trademark grape of the Rías. It occupies more than 90% of the vineyards here. That's only partly due to its recent fashionability in recent decades, but also because it's quite difficult to successfully grow any other variety in this climate. The Rías look rather more like the western coast of Ireland than like the rest of Spain. They're green and verdant hillsides rising out of improbably craggy and indented coastline. It rains a lot here, and when it's not raining, the vineyards are often shrouded in mist. This is bad news for vines, and very good news for vine diseases like rot and mildew. To counteract that, vine growers here train the vines up high on pergolas, largely at head height. This gets the grapes away from the damp ground and up into the drying sea breezes. Even then, that wouldn't work if it weren't for the characteristics of this grape. The Albarino has tiny berries with thick skins, natural raincoats, and they form loose clusters with plenty of room for air to circulate between them, making this very rot resistant. It also ripens easily and early and has a tendency to high sugar levels and hence high alcohol. This counteracts the normal tendency for grapes in this cool and wet climate to plump up with water and become dilute and not ripen very well. The upshot is that Albarino normally turns in at 12% in this area. It's so perfectly adapted to the region. This one is 12.5%, unusually strong due to the hot summer of 2012, which produced a small crop, which ran out almost as soon as we bought our consignment. We only have a handful left after filling the pouches. So if you order some of this, you'll most likely get the 2014 vintage. Now I've drunk that too, and it's lovely. It's very much the same wine, perhaps a little less exotically ripe, but it has crisper acidity and more of the salty tang that this seaside wine is particularly noted for. You won't be missing out. Cheers.